We live in an age of self-driving vehicles, robots that work alongside us.
Okay, Google.
And we rely on seemingly omniscient digital assistants.
Tomorrow in San Francisco, it'll be sunny.
Advances in algorithms, sensors, and automation technology stand to upend nearly every aspect of modern life, from work
Robots are coming out of their cages.
to healthcare,
Pigmented lesion benign.
and even how we think of ourselves. As a tool, artificial intelligence might extend human skills, or it might make them obsolete.
Your kitchen knife can be used to make great dinners. It can be used to kill somebody, and it's up to you to make that choice. AI is a tool just like this, except it's a mental tool.
So, how did we get here, and where are we going? As early as the 1940s, the first modern automation began to show up in factories. Computers were still decades away from becoming personal, but by the late 50s and early 60s, computer scientists were already trying to figure out the big question. Will robots make our lives better, or will they replace us entirely? On one side was John McCarthy with artificial intelligence, or AI.
You know, it was roughly the study of a set of technologies that would sort of mimic or replicate human capabilities, whether they were intellectual or physical.
On the other side was Doug Engelbart's idea of intelligence augmentation, or IA.
And that sort of led to the things that would become the internet and personal computing. So you have these two philosophies, and it's interesting, they sort of form both a dichotomy and a paradox. If you extend the human in an IA sense away, intelligence augmentation, you need fewer humans. Or you can just replace them outright.
Robots and thinking machines have long been a science fiction fantasy.
Sign here.
But by the 1960s, they were actually becoming a reality.
At SRI, we are experimenting with a mobile robot. We call him Shaky.
A wobbly, incredibly slow reality.
The first real effort to build an autonomous machine that could move and reason and act in its environment was Shaky, which was a project proposed by a physicist whose name was Charlie Rosen at SRI in 1966. He persuaded the Pentagon by telling them that they could work on a prototype of something that might do reconnaissance or be a guard. At a certain point, they asked him how many guns it might carry, and he said, well, 2, 3, how many do you need?
While Shaky never carried guns, it did mark the beginning of a new era of computer science.
It was important because it was a platform on which the algorithms that would later be used by self-driving cars, the kinds of things that you use in your smartphone. There was an algorithm called A-star that was a navigation algorithm, is the sort of granddaddy of the way we get around with our smartphones. And I think importantly too, that the first work on speech recognition that was significant was done in Shaky because they were looking for some way to interact with the machine.
Since the days of Shaky, computers have advanced remarkably in their ability to think for themselves. Advanced AI has beaten humans at their own games, from chess
Now we come to Watson,
to Jeopardy.
who is Bram Stoker and the wager.
Perhaps most tangibly of all, cars began driving themselves.
12 years ago, the idea that a computer could drive a car was completely unthinkable. People felt something as intuitive and as hard to even explain as driving a car was reserved for the human race.
Then the Federal Defense Agency DARPA put on a self-driving car challenge. Stanford's team, led by Thrun, won by building Stanley, a robot car that drove itself 132 miles across the desert.
Our secret ingredient was AI. It was machine learning. We actually trained the robot to do the right thing. Back in the day, we trained it how to vary its speed, where to steer a steering wheel, and so on.
Since then, AI and advanced automation have exploded. Dozens of companies are now testing self-driving vehicles. Most of us carry around smartphones loaded with AI-powered tools. And last year, DeepMind's AlphaGo, a neural network, beat us at our hardest game, Go.
But that kind of proves to me that basically everything can be done. Whatever you say can't be done, wait a little and it can be done.
AI and automation promise faster and safer solutions to humanity's problems.
I see this world where all these basic things are so affordable and so good to us that we can free our minds to develop a humanity that's completely unimaginable today.
But others warn of a jobless future.
It's not just about factories, and when it is factories, they're becoming far more advanced, but it's also, white-collar things. It's jobs done by journalists and radiologists.
While there have been advances, there are still limitations. Some of the most cutting-edge autonomous robots can barely do what a human toddler can do.
This is McCarthy's paradox. John McCarthy, who was the person who coined the term AI, noted this originally. He liked to put his hand into his pocket and pull out a dime. And, that's something we do without any thought. It defies the most sophisticated robotic arm to this day.
But what AI and automation may do could forever change the world and our place in it. For the next 5 episodes of Robots and Us, we'll be exploring how these technologies could impact everything from how we work or get around, to how we take care of our bodies,
How did it go with your meds today?
to how we think of ourselves as humans.